To Ethan and Claire. My father's voice rose above the music as everyone lifted their glasses. To 7 years of love, Robert said, and to the wedding that finally makes it official. I smiled at Claire beside me. Her fingers rested lightly against mine. 7 years, I whispered. Can you believe it? She looked at me. Ethan, stop. My smile faded. What? She pulled her hand away. Everyone, please stop celebrating. The music died. I stared at her. Claire. She did not look at me. Her eyes were fixed on the entrance. I turned. A man stood there. My heart stopped. Adrian. Adrian Cross smiled faintly. I had not seen him in 5 years. Claire walked toward him. I could barely breathe. Claire, what are you doing? She stopped beside Adrian. Then she took his hand. The glass in my hand almost slipped. Someone whispered, "Is that her first love?" I heard every word. Claire finally looked at me. "I'm sorry, Ethan." I laughed once. Sorry for what? Her fingers tightened around Adrian's. "I can't marry you." The room became silent. I stared at her. Why? Claire swallowed. I thought I could move on. I really did. I thought 7 years with you would be enough to bury the past. Then what is he doing here? Ethan, answer me. Adrian stepped forward. Our story was never truly over. I looked at him. Did I ask you? Ethan, Claire said, please don't make this harder. I stared at her. Harder? You brought your first love to our engagement party, held his hand in front of our families, and told me you can't marry me. What part of that is supposed to be easy? Claire's eyes filled with tears. I didn't want to hurt you. Then why did you do it? I had to be honest. Were you honest when you started seeing him? Claire froze. My stomach dropped. You've been seeing him. Ethan, listen to me. For how long? She said nothing. For how long, Claire? 3 months. A cold feeling spread through my chest. 3 months of wedding plans. 3 months of choosing flowers and sending invitations. 3 months while she secretly met the man she had just chosen over me. I looked at the ring on my finger. It suddenly felt like a chain. I turned back to Claire. Did you bring him here to leave me in front of everyone? Her lips trembled. I didn't plan it like that. But you planned to leave me. I didn't know how to tell you. You had 3 months. I was confused. No, you were afraid. Her eyes widened. Afraid of what? Afraid to admit that you wanted him more than you wanted me. Adrian frowned. That's enough. I looked at him. Stay out of this. Claire loves me. I felt something inside me crack. Then congratulations. Claire stared at me. Ethan. What? Please understand. I almost smiled. Understand what? Her mother rushed toward me. Ethan, please. Claire is confused. I turned to her. She isn't confused. She has been under tremendous emotional pressure. She's choosing another man. She doesn't mean to destroy you. I looked at Claire. Then why am I the only one standing here destroyed? My father stepped beside me. Ethan, you don't have to stay. Claire's mother shook her head. Please don't make this ugly. My father's voice hardened. My son didn't make it ugly. Claire looked at me through her tears. I know you love me. I said nothing. That's why I thought you'd understand. She expected my love to become her forgiveness. She believed that because I had loved her for 7 years, I would always wait for her. I slowly removed my ring. Claire stared at my hand. Ethan, what are you doing? I placed the ring on the table. That's your biggest mistake. Her face went pale. Ethan, wait. I stepped back. No, please. You made your choice. I didn't mean. You did. I looked at Adrian. Then I looked at Claire. I hope you get everything you want. She began crying. Ethan, don't leave like this. I turned toward the door. My father called after me. Son, I'll come with you. I shook my head. No, Dad. But I need to do this alone. I walked through the crowd. Nobody stopped me. Outside, the cold air hit my face. I stood beneath the lights and looked back at the building where I had planned to marry Claire. 7 years. Gone in one night. I closed my eyes. My chest hurt, but I refused to cry. Not here. Not for her. I whispered to myself, Claire Bennett, you will never see the man you abandoned again. Then I walked away. And this time, I didn't look back. I had spent 7 years believing love meant never leaving. I closed my apartment door and stood there in the darkness. For several seconds, I did nothing. Then I whispered, she really chose him. The words sounded different when nobody was around. At the engagement party, I had forced myself to stay calm. I had smiled. I had spoken carefully. I had walked out with my head held high. Now there was nobody watching. I dropped onto the sofa. 7 years, I whispered. My eyes landed on the photographs covering the shelf. Claire and me at university. Claire and me on our first trip. Claire holding my hand during my graduation. Claire laughing beside me at the beach. I picked up one photograph. You promised me, I said quietly. My phone suddenly rang. I looked at the screen. Marcus. I answered. Hello. Ethan? Yeah. Where are you? Home. I'm coming over. Marcus, I'm fine. There was a long silence. Then he said, you always say that when you're absolutely not fine. I don't need company. Good. I wasn't asking permission. The call ended. I stared at the phone. Damn you, Marcus. 20 minutes later, someone knocked. I opened the door. Marcus looked at me for 2 seconds. Then he said, you look terrible. I stepped aside. Nice to see you too. He walked in. I brought food. I'm not hungry. I didn't ask. Marcus. Ethan. We stared at each other. Finally, I laughed bitterly. You're annoying. That's why you've kept me around for 10 years. I sat down. Marcus placed the food on the table. Then he looked at the photographs. She really did it? I nodded. She chose Adrian. I know. In front of everyone. I know. Marcus sat beside me. For a moment, neither of us spoke. Then he said, I need to tell you something. I looked at him. What? I saw them together before tonight. My expression changed. What? Claire and Adrian. How many times? 3 that I know of. I stood up. You knew. Ethan. You knew. I didn't know they were together. You saw them. Yes. And you said nothing. I thought they were talking. 3 times. Marcus sighed. The first time was outside a restaurant. The second was at a hotel cafe. The third was near her office. I stared at him. Why didn't you tell me? Because I didn't have proof. You could have asked me to look into it. And what would you have done? I would have confronted her. Exactly. I clenched my fists. You should have told me. Maybe. No, not maybe. Marcus stood. I was trying to protect you. I laughed. Everyone keeps saying that. Who else? Myself. Marcus went quiet. I looked at the photograph in my hand. I knew something was wrong. He didn't interrupt. She stopped answering my calls. She started coming home late. Whenever I asked, she said she was tired. Ethan. She compared me to him. Marcus frowned. What? Adrian. I swallowed. She said he understood her better. Why didn't you leave? Because I loved her. That isn't an answer. It was to me. I sat down again. I thought if I was patient, things would get better. Marcus shook his head. You kept sacrificing yourself. I turned down that overseas job because she didn't want me to leave. I remember. She said we were building a future together. And you believed her. I had every reason to. Marcus looked at me. No, Ethan. You had every reason to trust her. That's different. My phone buzzed. I looked down. Claire. A message appeared. Asterisk, can we meet? Please. We need to talk. Asterisk. Marcus watched my face. Don't. I need answers. You already have them. I need to hear her. I grabbed my jacket. Where are you going? To meet Claire. Ethan. I'm not going to beg. Marcus stared at me. Promise me. I promise. We met at a quiet cafe. Claire was already waiting. I sat across from her. You wanted to talk. She nodded. Thank you for coming. Say what you need to say. She looked nervous. I know you're hurt. I almost laughed. That's what you wanted to discuss. No. Then what? I need your help. I stared at her. My help. Our families are confused. Good. Ethan. They should be. I want you to explain things to them. I leaned back. Why me? Because they trust you. You destroyed our wedding. I know. And now you want me to make everyone feel better. That's not what I meant. Then what did you mean? She lowered her voice. I want us to remain friends. For a moment, I couldn't speak. Then I laughed. Claire looked hurt. What's funny? You. Ethan. Do you want me to comfort you after you destroyed our wedding? No. Then why are you asking me to stay in your life? Because I don't want us to become enemies. I looked directly into her eyes. You don't get to choose what we become anymore. Her face fell. I pulled out my phone. Ethan, wait. I blocked her number. She stared at me. You really mean it? Yes. I stood. Goodbye, Claire. I left before she could answer. That evening, Marcus sent me a message. Don't check social media. I immediately opened it. The first photograph showed Claire and Adrian together. The caption read, True love reunited. I scrolled. Another photograph. Then another. They were already living together. Marcus called. Ethan, don't do anything stupid. I won't. People are talking. Let them. You could expose her. No. Why not? Because I won't become someone I hate. I looked across my apartment. Then I noticed an old folder. My company, the small technology business I had started years ago. Claire had always told me to sell my shares and join her family's company. I had almost done it. I opened the folder. For the first time in years, I saw something that belonged entirely to me. I whispered. What was I thinking? Marcus asked. Ethan. I'm here. What are you going to do? I looked at the documents. I won't destroy Claire. Then what? I closed the folder. I'll stop sacrificing myself for her. For the first time that night, I believed my own words. I opened the office door for the first time in months. The place looked smaller than I remembered. Daniel Brooks stood beside my desk, holding a stack of papers. He looked at me. Finally. I dropped my bag. Good morning to you too. You're late. I own the company. Exactly. That's why you're late. I frowned. Are you always this pleasant? Only with people who abandon their own business for a woman. I stared at him. Daniel sighed. Sit down, Ethan. I Saturday. He dropped the papers in front of me. What is this? Your company. I looked through them. Financial reports. Monthly reports. Sales reports. Investor updates. Everything you ignored. I didn't ignore everything. Daniel raised an eyebrow. Really? I stopped arguing. He leaned against the desk. You built this company from nothing. I know. You had a good team. I know. You had investors interested in expansion. I know. And then you decided your future depended on Claire. I looked down. Daniel's voice softened. You spent years building her family's future while your own company waited for you. I thought I was doing the right thing. You thought you were building a marriage. I was. No, Daniel said. You were building a life around someone who had already started walking away. His words hurt, but I couldn't deny them. I looked at the reports. How bad is it? Not bad. I looked up. Really? You're lucky. Why? Because I kept it alive. I smiled faintly. Thank you. Don't thank me yet. Why? Because I'm about to make you work. I laughed for the first time in days. Daniel pointed at the reports. If you want this company back, take responsibility. I will. Starting today. Starting today. Then I have one question. What? Are you ready to stop living for Claire? I looked at him. Yes. Daniel nodded. Good. Because I need my boss back. The next morning, I received a call from Victor Bennett. Ethan, we need to discuss the engagement. I have nothing left to discuss. You still have property belonging to my family. Send me a list. Victor paused. You'll return everything. Of course. Without an argument. Why would I argue over things I never asked for? His voice became colder. There is also another matter. What? Our business partnership. I leaned back. I'm listening. You own shares in Bennett Holdings. I do. We want them back. I laughed quietly. You're buying them? No. Then what are you asking? You should sign them over. I stared at the wall. Why? Because the relationship between our families has ended. My relationship with Claire ended. It's the same thing. No, Victor, it isn't. You are no longer part of this family. I never asked to be. Then sign the papers. I looked at the documents he had sent. You already took your daughter away from me. Don't expect me to hand you my future too. Victor's voice became threatening. Be careful, Ethan. I am. You have no idea how difficult business can become. Is that a threat? It's advice. Then I'll give you some advice too. What? Don't confuse my silence with weakness. The line went quiet. Victor finally said, You will regret this. Maybe. I ended the call. My hands were shaking, but I didn't regret it. 2 days later, Claire walked into my office. I looked up. What are you doing here? She closed the door. You stopped answering me. That's correct. You blocked me. Yes. Why? I stared at her. Because you chose someone else. Her eyes hardened. It wasn't that simple. It was simple enough when you chose him. You don't understand what I was feeling. I understand perfectly. No, you don't. Then explain it. Claire opened her mouth. Nothing came out. I waited. Finally, she whispered. I was confused. About me? About everything. You were confused for 3 months. I didn't know what to do. You knew what you wanted. Ethan, please. No. She looked shocked. I continued. You made your decision in front of everyone. I regret it. That doesn't change it. I didn't want to lose you. You already did. Claire's eyes filled with tears. For 1 second, I almost stepped toward her. My body remembered 7 years of comforting her. Then I remembered her standing beside Adrian. I stepped back. Claire noticed. You really are different. No, you are. I just stopped pretending. She wiped her tears. Are you really done with me? I looked at her. I was done when you chose him. Her lips trembled. I just didn't know it yet. She turned away. Ethan, I loved you. Maybe. I loved you enough to wait forever. She looked back. And now? Now I love myself enough to leave. Claire stood silently. Then she walked out. I returned to my desk. For the first time, I didn't feel victorious. I felt free. Daniel entered 10 minutes later. He closed the door. Ethan. What happened? We have a problem. I looked up. What kind? Victor. I sighed. What did he do? He's preparing to acquire your company. My chair scraped against the floor. Through who? A rival investor. I stared at Daniel. Can he do that? He can try. Will he succeed? Daniel's expression was serious. That depends on you. I looked at the company documents. The betrayal was no longer just emotional. Victor wanted my business. Claire had taken my heart. Now her family wanted my future. I closed the folder. Then let's fight. Daniel smiled. That's what I wanted to hear. I looked toward the office door. For 7 years, I had waited for Claire. Now I would wait for no one. This time, I would fight for myself. I spent the next 3 months rebuilding my life. 3 months after Claire left me, our company launched a new product. It was something I had designed years earlier. Claire had encouraged me to finish it. You should build something people actually need, she had once told me. When the product became successful, I was the one standing in the office. Not Claire, not her family, me. Daniel placed the latest sales report on my desk. Congratulations. I opened it. Is this real? Very real. I stared at the numbers. We did it. No, Daniel said. You did it. I shook my head. We did it together. Daniel smiled. Now you're learning. That morning, I finally believed I could have a future without Claire. Then the invitation arrived. I opened the envelope. My hands stopped moving. Daniel noticed. What is it? I pulled out the card. I read the names. Claire Bennett, Adrian Cross. Wedding. There was a handwritten note. Asterisk, I hope you can come. I want us to end things peacefully. Asterisk. I laughed. Daniel looked at me. What? She wants peace. That's not funny. No, it isn't. I read the sentence again. She wants me to attend. Then don't. She wants everyone to see that I accept her choice. Then let her wonder. I placed the invitation on my desk. Marcus called that afternoon. I told him about the invitation. His response came immediately. Absolutely not. You didn't even think about it. I don't need to. Why? Because you are not going to sit through Claire's wedding. I wasn't planning to stay for the ceremony. Ethan, I just want to see something. What? I don't know yet. Don't go. I think I should. Why? Because I have a gift for her. Marcus went silent. Ethan, please tell me you're not planning revenge. No. Then what? The truth. I ended the call. Daniel disagreed too. When I told him my decision, he shook his head. Refusing would be smarter. Probably. Then why go? Because I'm not going for Claire. Adrian? Definitely not. Daniel studied my face. Then who are you going for? I answered quietly. Myself. 2 days later, I met Samuel Grant. I placed the wedding invitation on his desk. I need you to investigate something. He adjusted his glasses. What? Claire's involvement in my company. Samuel frowned. Why? I want to know exactly what she owns. He opened an old file. Then he stopped. Ethan. What? You need to see this. He pushed a document toward me. I read it. My stomach tightened. What is this? An intellectual property agreement. Between Claire and me. Apparently. I kept reading. Half. Samuel nodded. Claire claimed ownership of 50% of the original technology. I stared at him. That can't be right. You signed the original development papers. I did. But you never challenged this agreement. Because I trusted her. Samuel looked at me carefully. There is more. I looked up. What? She transferred those rights. To whom? Not directly. Samuel. He turned another page. Adrian's new company. The room went silent. I leaned back. So that's why. That's what it looks like. She wanted my technology. Ethan, I can't say that without proof. I stared at the documents. Claire had not only chosen Adrian. She had planned to help him build a company using something I had created. I felt the old pain return. Can we expose her? Yes. How quickly? Immediately, if you want. I looked at the wedding invitation. I could destroy everything before their wedding. I could make Claire answer for every lie. But I didn't. Not yet. Samuel looked surprised. Why? I don't want revenge. Then what do you want? I closed the file. I want the truth to arrive at the right time. Samuel studied me. And what happens then? I smiled faintly. Then I give her the wedding gift. Samuel leaned back. Are you sure this is about justice? I don't know. Then what is it about? I thought about Claire. It is about making sure I never protect her from the consequences of her choices again. Samuel nodded slowly. That, at least, I understand. The wedding day arrived. I stood outside the venue. Marcus had called me 3 times. Daniel had called twice. I ignored both. I looked through the glass doors. Claire stood inside. She was wearing the dress I once helped her choose. I remembered her asking me, "Do you like this one?" I had answered, "I love it." Now I looked at her, and for the first time since she left me, I felt nothing. No anger, no jealousy, no pain, I touched the envelope in my pocket. Claire, I whispered, you wanted a peaceful ending. I opened the door. I hope you're ready for the truth. I walked into the wedding venue with my head held high. The conversation stopped. I felt dozens of eyes following me. Someone whispered, he actually came. Another voice answered, I thought he would never show up. I ignored them. Claire stood near the front. The moment she saw me, her face changed. Ethan. I stopped. Congratulations. She stared at me. You came. You invited me. I didn't think you would. Why? Her lips parted, but she said nothing. Adrian appeared beside her. He smiled. So you really decided to attend? I looked at him. Apparently. He laughed. I have to admit, I'm impressed. Don't be. Why not? I'm not here for you. His smile faded slightly. I walked past them and took my seat. Marcus had begged me not to come. Daniel had warned me. Samuel had prepared me. But I was calm. The ceremony began. I watched Claire walk toward Adrian. She wore the dress I had once helped her choose. I remembered standing beside her in the store. Do you like this one? She had asked. I had smiled. I love it. Now I watched her marry another man. I felt nothing. The officiant began speaking. Do you, Claire Bennett, take Adrian Cross as your husband? I do. Do you, Adrian Cross, take Claire Bennett as your wife? I do. I looked down. The officiant asked the usual question. If anyone has a reason these two should not be married, speak now. The entire room became silent. I remained seated. I said nothing. The ceremony ended. Everyone applauded. I applauded too. Then I stood. The reception began. I stayed near the back until Claire finally approached me. Ethan. I turned. What? Why did you come? I looked at her wedding dress. You invited me. That isn't what I meant. Then ask the question you actually want answered. She swallowed. I thought you would hate me. I stared at her. I did. Her face went pale. But I don't anymore. Why? I don't hate people I have already left behind. Her eyes filled with tears. Ethan, please. Please what? I never wanted things to end like this. You chose this ending. I was confused. You aren't confused now. She looked toward Adrian, then back at me. No. I nodded. Then there's nothing left to discuss. Are you really okay? I almost smiled. Why does that matter to you? Because I still care about you. You care about me now. She flinched. I always cared. Not enough. Claire wiped her tears. I made a mistake. Yes. I know that. Good. Ethan, Claire. I stopped her. Don't say you are sorry. Why? Because I don't need your apology anymore. Before she could answer, Adrian approached. He looked between us. Am I interrupting something? I stepped aside. No. Adrian smiled. Good. Claire looked uncomfortable. Adrian turned toward me. I have to say, Ethan, I didn't expect you to come. You've said that already. I'm surprised you stayed this long. It's a wedding. Yes, my wedding. I noticed. Adrian laughed. Still bitter. No. Then why do you look so serious? I looked at him. Should I be smiling? You lost the woman you loved. No. Adrian raised an eyebrow. No. She made her choice. He chuckled. That's a convenient way to pretend you aren't hurt. I reached into my jacket. Adrian's smile disappeared. I took out a small box. Then I handed it to Claire. She stared at it. What is this? Your wedding gift. Adrian laughed. You brought her a gift. I ignored him. Claire slowly opened the box. Her expression changed. What is this? Open everything. She removed the first document. Her hands began shaking. Ethan. Adrian leaned closer. What is it? Claire looked at me. The original company agreement. Yes. She pulled out another document. What are these? Legal records. Her eyes moved across the pages. Your lawyer. Yes. What does this mean? It means you never owned 50% of my intellectual property. Adrian's smile vanished. Claire stared at me. But I signed the agreement. You did. Then how? Your claim was never legally valid. Adrian stepped forward. That's impossible. I looked at him. Is it? He grabbed one document. I didn't stop him. He read it. His face changed. Where did you get this? From my lawyer. Adrian looked at Claire. Did you know about this? Claire shook her head. No. I placed another envelope on the table. There is more. Claire opened it. Her eyes widened. What are these messages? I answered calmly. Your messages to Adrian. Adrian's face turned white. Claire stared at the copies. I watched her read. Asterisk once Ethan transfers the rights, you can use the technology. Asterisk. Another message followed. Asterisk he won't suspect anything. He trusts me. Asterisk. The room around us became silent. I heard someone ask, what's happening? Adrian grabbed the papers. Where did these come from? I looked at him. That's not my problem anymore. Suddenly, the large reception screen changed. The documents appeared. I turned toward it. I hadn't arranged that. Adrian stared at the screen. No. A man near the front stood up. Adrian. Adrian froze. The man walked closer. Where did you get that technology? Adrian said nothing. The man looked at me. Ethan, is this your company? Yes. He turned toward Adrian. You told me you owned the rights. I do. No, you don't. Adrian's voice became desperate. Listen to me. You lied to me. I can explain. You told me the technology belonged to you. It was supposed to. The man's expression hardened. Supposed to. I watched Adrian's world collapse in seconds. Claire slowly turned toward him. You used me. Adrian looked at her. Claire, that's not true. You wanted my family's connections. No, you wanted Ethan's technology. That's business. She stared at him. Was any of this about me? Adrian couldn't answer. Claire looked at me. Why would you do this? I met her eyes. I didn't ruin your wedding. I stepped back. I just stopped protecting the people who ruined my life. She began crying. I didn't comfort her. I didn't hate her either. I simply turned around. Marcus called my name. I kept walking. Then I walked away. For the first time, I didn't need revenge. I had already stopped protecting the people who betrayed me. Daniel followed me outside. You okay? I nodded. Yes. You didn't expose them. No. Then who did? I looked back through the glass doors. Adrian's own partner. Daniel smiled. So your gift was? I looked at the empty box in my hand. The truth. 3 weeks after the wedding, I stopped checking the news. I told Marcus, I don't want to hear about Claire. You say that every time I mention her. Then stop mentioning her. He lasted 2 days. On the third morning, he called. Ethan, Adrian's company lost another investor. I don't care. Victor's family is under pressure too. I said I don't care. Your company made another record this month. I smiled. Now that's useful. My company was growing faster than I expected. The product I had nearly abandoned was now being used by companies across the country. Daniel walked into my office. Congratulations. Again. I looked at the report. What's the next problem? Expansion. That's a good problem. It's still a problem. I laughed. For the first time in months, my days were filled with things that had nothing to do with Claire. Then Daniel introduced me to Emily Carter. Emily, he said, this is Ethan Cole. Emily shook my hand. I know. I raised an eyebrow. You know me. You're the owner. That's usually a safe guess. She smiled. Daniel told me you're difficult. I looked at Daniel. You said that. I said you're stubborn. That's worse. Emily laughed. Daniel handed her a folder. Emily will manage the new project. I frowned. Already. Emily looked at me. Do you have a problem with that? No. Good. She sat down. I opened the proposal. This budget is too high. Emily didn't hesitate. No, it isn't. I looked up. Excuse me. You're underestimating the cost. I built this company, and I reviewed the numbers. Emily became part of my daily life. She never asked about my money or cared about my family name. She challenged me whenever I made a bad decision. One afternoon, she found me working late. "You're still here. I own the company. That doesn't mean you have to sleep here. I have work. You have a life. I'll find one eventually." She studied me. "Are you still recovering from Claire?" I froze. "Who told you?" "Nobody." "Then why ask?" "Because you look like someone who hasn't forgiven himself." I leaned back. "You don't know me." "No." "Then don't pretend you do." Emily nodded. "Fair enough." She turned to leave. I said, "I'm not looking for anyone." She stopped. "Good." I frowned. She looked back at me. "I'm not looking for someone who needs saving." I laughed. Emily smiled. "See? You can still do that." Weeks passed. I began to feel like myself again. Then Claire came to my office. I knew something was wrong before she spoke. "Ethan." I stood. "Why are you here?" She looked exhausted. "Adrian left me." I said nothing. He moved out. I slowly sat down. I made the biggest mistake of my life. My chest tightened. The old pain returned, but it didn't control me. I asked, "Why are you telling me?" "Because I finally understand." "Understand what?" "That I never stopped loving you." I closed my eyes. "Claire, please, don't do this. I made a mistake. You made a choice." I was confused. "You were sure enough to marry him." Tears filled her eyes. "I thought I loved him." "You thought you loved the memory of him." She shook her head. "No. Yes. Ethan, I love you." I looked at her. "Maybe you do now." She stepped closer. "Then come back." I felt my heart ache. "Take me back." I stood. "You don't miss me." Her tears fell. "You miss the person who never stopped waiting for you." "That's not true." "It is." "I love you." I swallowed. "Maybe you do now. But I loved you when you had every reason to choose me, and you still chose someone else." Claire covered her face. "I was wrong." "Yes. Please forgive me." "I forgive you." She looked up hopefully. "Then we can." "No." Her expression broke. "Why?" "Because forgiveness doesn't mean returning." "I can change." "I believe you." "Then why won't you give me another chance?" "Because I finally changed too." Claire cried quietly. I walked toward the door. "Ethan." I stopped. "Was there ever a chance for us?" I thought about the man I had been. "Yes." She waited. "But not anymore." I left her there. Outside, I realized something simple. I had once begged for her love. Now I didn't want it. Closure wasn't hearing an apology. It was discovering that I no longer wanted what I had once begged for. And for the first time, that felt like freedom. I thought Claire was finally out of my life. Then Victor Bennett called me. I stared at his name for several seconds before answering. "What do you want?" "Ethan, I need to talk to you. I don't think we have anything left to discuss." "Please." I almost ended the call. Then I heard something in his voice. "What happened?" "Claire found out." "Found out what?" There was silence. "Victor, I should have told you years ago." "Told me what?" "The truth about our family's debt." I frowned. "What debt?" 5 years ago, we almost lost everything." I remembered. Claire had told me her family was going through a difficult period. I had asked if she needed help. She had said no. Victor continued. "Our company was close to collapse. We owed millions. And you paid it." My hand tightened around the phone. "What?" "You paid the largest debt." I stood. "No, you did. I loaned your family money." "You didn't." Victor's voice shook. "You paid it completely." I couldn't speak. I remembered transferring money from my company. I remembered Victor promising to repay me. He never did. I had never asked. "Why are you telling me this now?" "Because Claire discovered the records." I laughed bitterly. "Of course she did. She knows everything." "Does she?" "Yes." "Does she know I did it without telling her?" "Yes." I looked out my window. Why didn't you tell her? Because you asked me not to. I asked you not to tell her I helped. You also refused repayment. Because I loved her. Victor became silent. I felt anger rising. You knew what I did. Yes. You watched me sacrifice my company to protect your family. Yes. And then you threatened me when I refused to give up my shares. I was wrong. You let me believe I was part of your family. You were. No. My voice hardened. You treated me like family when you needed me, then treated me like a stranger when Claire chose Adrian. Ethan, I regret that. You should. I want you to forgive Claire. I laughed. You are asking me to forgive her because you finally understand what I was worth. Victor had no answer. I continued. She didn't know what I did. No. She didn't know I protected her family. No. She didn't know what I gave up. No. Then why should I care that she knows now? Because she regrets it. Regret is easy when the consequences arrive. Ethan, I'm not angry because she left. I paused. I'm angry because I spent 7 years believing my sacrifices meant something to her. Victor whispered, they did. Not enough. The call ended soon after. I thought that was the end. It wasn't. 3 days later, Claire came to my office. She stood outside my door holding something. I knew what it was before she spoke. I found this. She handed me an old photograph. I looked down. It was us. 7 years earlier. We were sitting beside a lake, laughing at something I could no longer remember. You kept it? Yes. Why? Claire looked at me. Because it was the happiest time of my life. I stared at the photograph. It was the happiest time of mine too. Her eyes filled with tears. Then maybe we still have a chance. I shook my head. Claire. Why not? Because memories can be beautiful without becoming a reason to return. She looked down. I finally know everything. About my company. About your family. I said nothing. You paid their debt. Yes. You protected us. I helped. You sacrificed for me. I chose to. Why didn't you tell me? Because I didn't want you to feel like you owed me. Claire covered her mouth. I thought I was the one who gave everything. I looked at her. You gave me 7 years. And you gave me everything. No. I shook my head. I gave you what I wanted to give. She cried. I don't deserve you. That isn't the point. Then what is? The point is that I deserve to be chosen. Claire closed her eyes. I know. For several seconds, we stood silently. Then she asked, if you had known I would leave you, would you still have loved me? I didn't need to think. Yes. She looked at me. Why? Because I loved the person I believed you were. Her tears fell. I continued, but I would have loved myself sooner. Claire finally understood. I could see it in her expression. She had spent months trying to return to the life she had abandoned. But that life no longer existed. She wiped her tears. I wish I could change everything. So do I. Do you hate me? No. Then what do you feel? I looked at the photograph. Gratitude. She looked confused. Why? Because losing you forced me to find myself. Claire smiled sadly. I'm glad. She turned toward the door. Claire. She stopped. I handed the photograph back. Keep it. She looked surprised. Why? Because it belongs to your memories. And you? I smiled faintly. I belong to my future. Claire nodded. Then she walked away. I didn't follow. I didn't watch her leave. I turned around. My office window reflected my face back at me. For 7 years, I had looked toward Claire whenever I imagined tomorrow. Now I looked somewhere else. I picked up my phone. Emily had sent me a message. Asterisk dinner tonight? Asterisk. I smiled. I typed back. Asterisk I'd like that. Asterisk. Then I put the phone away. I had finally reached the end of something I once thought would last forever. And for the first time, I wasn't afraid of what came next. I turned toward my future. And I walked. 1 year passed. I stood in my office, looking at a map covered with marks. Daniel pointed at one of them. Singapore. I nodded. And London. Next quarter. He smiled. International expansion. I leaned back. Did you ever think we'd get here? No. Really? I thought you'd sell everything and disappear after Claire left. I laughed. Thanks for believing in me. I believed in the company. And now I believe in the person running it. I smiled. That meant more than he knew. My company had grown beyond anything I imagined. More importantly, I had grown with it. I no longer worked until midnight to prove something. I no longer measured my worth by someone else's approval. Marcus noticed. We were having dinner when he suddenly pointed at me. What? You look happy. I frowned. I am eating. That's not what I mean. Then what do you mean? You're different. I've heard that before. No, I mean you're actually different. I smiled. I think I finally know what happiness feels like. Marcus stared at me. That's disgusting. I laughed. You're impossible. I'm your oldest friend. It's my job. My relationship with Emily had also changed. We moved slowly. I never asked her to promise me forever. I had learned that promises meant nothing without trust. One evening, Emily asked me, "Why don't you ever talk about marriage?" I looked at her. "Would you like me to?" "No." "Then why ask?" "Because you're always careful." I thought about that. I'm careful because I know what happens when trust disappears. Emily nodded. I understand. I'm not afraid of loving you. Then what are you afraid of? Losing myself again. She reached across the table. You won't. I smiled. I know. That was enough. Then I heard about Claire. I didn't ask for news. It came to me anyway. Marcus mentioned it first. Claire left her family's company. I looked at him. When? Months ago. Why? She wanted to work independently. I nodded. And Adrian? Gone. Gone where? His company collapsed after the investment scandal. I took a sip of water. I'm not interested in their lives. Marcus raised his hands. Fine. A week later, I met someone who changed how I thought about Claire. Her name was Sophie Bennett. She approached me after a business event. Ethan. I turned. Yes. I'm Sophie. I recognized the name. Claire's sister. She nodded. I know you probably don't want to talk to me. You're right. She smiled. I appreciate the honesty. I almost laughed. What do you want? I wanted to thank you. For what? For not destroying my sister. I stared at her. I never wanted to destroy her. I know. She made her choices. Sophie nodded. She finally understands that. Understanding doesn't change the past. No. Sophie looked thoughtful. But maybe it can change who she becomes. I didn't answer. Sophie continued. Claire left the family company. I heard. She started helping women who went through controlling relationships. I frowned. Why? Because she understands what it feels like to lose yourself inside someone else's expectations. I looked away. That's ironic. Yes. Does she talk about me? Sometimes. I sighed. I don't want to know. Sophie nodded. Then I won't tell you. I appreciated that. Before leaving, Sophie said, Ethan? What? My sister really is sorry. I looked at her. I believe her. Can you forgive her? I already have. Sophie smiled. But you won't take her back. No. Why? Because forgiveness doesn't require access. Sophie nodded slowly. I think she'll understand. I hope she does. For the first time, I realized I could think about Claire without anger. I didn't need to hate her anymore. I could forgive her and still move forward. Then Emily came to my office with unexpected news. I got an offer. I looked up. That's good. It's overseas. My heart stopped. Where? London. I said nothing. Emily watched me carefully. It's a 6-month position. That's a great opportunity. You don't sound happy. I am. Ethan. I stood. Emily, if you want to go, you should go. She stared at me. Just like that. Just like that. What if I leave? Then I'll survive. Her expression changed. I continued. I won't stop you from becoming who you want to be. Even if I'm gone for 6 months. Even then, you aren't going to ask me to stay. No. Why? Because I don't want someone beside me who feels trapped. Emily became quiet. Then she smiled. Do you know what you're doing? I have no idea. You're trusting me. Yes. That's new. I laughed. Very. Emily sat down. I was afraid you'd ask me to choose. I won't. What if I choose to stay? I looked at her. Then I hope it's because you want to. She smiled. I do. My heart felt strangely light. You're staying? Yes. Why? Because I want to. I nodded. Nothing more needed to be said. A year ago, I would have begged. I would have held on until someone felt trapped. Now I understood something simple. Love wasn't keeping someone from leaving. Love was giving them the freedom to choose. Emily chose me. Not because I begged. Not because I controlled her. She chose me because she wanted to. And I finally understood how different that was. I had lost Claire, but somewhere along the way, I had found myself. And this time, I wasn't going to lose me again. 2 years had passed since Claire's wedding. Today, I was getting married. Not to Claire, to Emily. I stood in front of the mirror, adjusting my jacket. Marcus knocked on the door. Are you ready? No. He opened the door. You're getting married in 10 minutes. I know. Then why aren't you ready? I've changed my mind. Marcus stared at me. I laughed. I'm joking. You're an idiot. And you're still my best man. Unfortunately. Daniel entered behind him. Everything is ready. I looked at him. Everyone. Almost. Samuel stepped inside. Victor Bennett is here. My smile disappeared. Why? He asked to speak with you. I sighed. Fine. Victor waited outside. He looked older than I remembered. Ethan. Victor. Can I have a minute? I nodded. He stepped closer. I didn't come to cause trouble. I know. I wanted to ask you something. What? Do you think you'll ever forgive Claire? I looked at him. I already did. Victor seemed surprised. Then why didn't you take her back? I answered quietly. Forgiveness is not the same as returning. He lowered his eyes. I understand now. Do you? Yes. Victor looked toward the wedding hall. You gave my daughter everything. She gave me 7 years. And then she lost you. No. I shook my head. She lost the man I was. Victor looked at me. What's the difference? The man I was would have waited forever. And now? Now I know better. Victor nodded slowly. I wish I had understood that sooner. So do I. He reached into his pocket. I brought this. I looked at the envelope. What is it? Nothing important. I opened it. Inside was a photograph. Claire and me. The same photograph she had returned to me. I looked at Victor. She gave this to you. She asked me to keep it. Why? She said you deserve to have your future without carrying her past. I stared at the photograph. Then I put it back. Thank you. Victor nodded. I'll leave you to your wedding. He turned away. Victor. He stopped. I don't hate your daughter. I know. Tell her that. I will. Then he left. Marcus came back. You okay? I nodded. I'm ready. Before I entered the hall, Samuel handed me a letter. This arrived this morning. I looked at the handwriting. I recognized it immediately. Claire. Samuel nodded. Do you want me to throw it away? I shook my head. No. I opened it. Asterisk Ethan, asterisk. Asterisk I don't expect you to answer this letter, asterisk. Asterisk I don't want you to come back, asterisk. Asterisk I don't want forgiveness, asterisk. Asterisk I only want to tell you that I finally understand, asterisk. Asterisk I understand what you gave me, asterisk. Asterisk I understand what I threw away, asterisk. Asterisk you loved me when I was selfish, confused, and afraid. You protected my family when you had no reason to. You stood beside me until I gave you every reason to leave, asterisk. Asterisk I thought losing you would destroy me, asterisk. Asterisk instead, it forced me to see who I had become, asterisk. Asterisk the man I abandoned is gone. Asterisk. Asterisk I'm glad. Asterisk. Asterisk because the man you became is stronger. Asterisk. Asterisk I'm sorry, Ethan. Asterisk. Asterisk not because I want you back. Asterisk. Asterisk I'm sorry because you deserve better. And I finally understand that. Asterisk. Asterisk I hope you are happy. Asterisk. I read the letter once. Then I folded it carefully. I didn't burn it. I didn't tear it apart. I simply put it away. Marcus watched me. Are you okay? Yes. Really? I smiled. Really? The doors opened. I looked down the aisle. Emily was waiting for me. For a moment, I remembered Claire. She had once chosen her first love in front of everyone. I had believed that moment destroyed my life. Now I understood something different. That moment had given my life back to me. I had spent years believing the wedding gift I gave Claire was the truth. It wasn't the contract. It wasn't the documents. It wasn't Adrian's exposure. The real gift was freedom. I freed Claire from the illusion that I would always wait. And I freed myself from believing that being abandoned meant I was worthless. I walked toward Emily. She smiled. I reached her and took her hand. Are you sure? She laughed. After everything you've been through, you're still asking. I smiled. Yes. She squeezed my hand. Then I'll answer you every time. I looked into her eyes. That's all I ever wanted. No. I raised an eyebrow. No. You wanted someone who would choose you. I smiled. Yes. Then you finally found her. I looked around the small room. Marcus was smiling. Daniel was clapping. Samuel nodded quietly. Victor sat in the back, watching without speaking. I turned back to Emily. For years, I thought my greatest revenge would be making Claire regret losing me. I was wrong. My greatest revenge was becoming someone who no longer needed her regret. I didn't need Claire to suffer. I didn't need her to return. I didn't need her to admit that I had been the better choice. I had already chosen myself. And now, standing beside the woman who chose me freely, I finally understood what Claire's wedding had given me. It had taken away the future I thought I wanted. Then it gave me the courage to build one of my own. Emily squeezed my hand. I squeezed hers back. The music began. I took my first step forward. This time, I wasn't walking away from someone. I was walking toward my future, and I didn't look back.